There's a huge gap between people who are mentally strong and people who are mentally fragile. This piece of content right here is designed to help take your mind from that weak place, from a place where you're not able to do what you want to do, where you can't seem to follow through and be disciplined and achieve what you want, to being able to accomplish what you want almost effortlessly, and feeling that inner motivation, that drive, that passion, that spark that really makes it easy for you to achieve what you want. That really almost makes it inevitable. But before we get into it, I just want to let you know that you can win a free copy of my new book that's actually exclusive and only in my high-level program. It's not being sold anywhere else, but you can enter to win it by dropping a comment down below saying winning. Just say the word winning and you'll be entered to win. We pick 3 winners every month, so make sure you enter by typing the word winning into the comments. Also, make sure you drop a like on the video to let me know that you did it. Now, the first thing that you have to realize about becoming mentally strong is that it's ignited by something. And there's a reason why people go and have a transformation and start with weak mental faculties, not being able to do what they want to do, feeling worthless, feeling unable, feeling low self-esteem. And then all of a sudden turning that around. I used to be a depressed, obese, broke janitor who had severe social anxiety, right? And this is over 6-7 years ago. And that transformation didn't happen by accident. See, I felt the misery of being the wrong person. When you realize that you're being someone you don't want to be, you begin your transformation. You see, many times what we want to do is we want to skip forward to a point in our life where we'll be happy, everything is perfect, and we get everything we want and we don't have to work for it. Things are handed to us on a silver platter. But of course, this point never arrives. And we keep chasing and chasing and chasing and saying, once I get this item, once I get here, once I finish my education, once I take this course or this program, then I'll be happy. And of course, it's never like that. There's always more to learn. There's always more growth. And there's always constant expansion. And you're always going to want something more. And you're always going to think that that next thing is going to make you happy. But if you realize that the problem isn't all of those things, the problem is who you're being, then you start to make some progress. Because you stop looking at all this external BS and you shift your belief system, also BS, to realize, wait a second, it's me. There's something wrong with me. I am in this position because I am who I am. I think the way that I think, and that's why I get what I get. So if I want to change that, I have to be someone else. And this isn't fake it till you make it. This is believe it until you achieve it. You have to shift your mindset and you have to make a transformation and a decision, a transformative decision that says, hey, I'm going to be someone new. And that fire right there is lit by desire. You see, desire is what ignites growth. It's what sets you alive and makes you want to do something. And desire usually coupled with or preceded by frustration. Frustration is really important. You see, I'm not saying that you should walk around and complain and be upset and be angry because it'll fix all your problems. It most definitely will not. But if you get angry at who you are being, you are creating a huge opportunity for growth. And most of self-help and personal development does not talk about this, because we're too busy being fluffy and warm and cozy and talking about all the nice things, right? All the nice things you can have if you do this and you believe that and you shift this and manifest, and that's great. I'm not against that. But real transformation, if you look at people who have drastically turned their life around and had incredible amounts of growth, massive results in their life. Every client that I worked with who's done multiple 7 figures, 8 figures in their businesses, it's always been lit by desire and a frustration of who they were being before. Not showing up enough, not being the person that they wanted to be, and getting tired of playing a role that they weren't happy with. Wanting to step up, wanting to serve on one level or another, right? Some people have that profoundly, it's strong, it's really dominant. Some people feel it and it's a little more subtle. For me, it was very powerful. It was a strong fire that lit in me, and that gave me the momentum that I needed to commit. You see, what you need to back that desire up with is commitment. What will I do every day to become who I want to be? This is crucial, because without this, what you're doing is you're going, well, I'm tired of this and I'm frustrated, I want to change it. I'm not being who I want to be and I desire to become this person. And then you just daydream. But the action plan is key, and executing on that is key, and following through and doing the actual step-by-step work is essential. Without that, you're just daydreaming, and that's not necessarily going to do you any good. So step out of that, commit. The question is, what will you sacrifice? You always sacrifice something. The question is, are you sacrificing your dreams, the things that you want, the things that would make you happy and fulfilled, and finally, you would feel like you are being true to yourself, your authentic self, who you really want to be? Or, are you sacrificing the things that you shouldn't be doing? Are you giving up the things that maybe give you temporary joy and pleasure, but in the long run are unfulfilling, unsustainable, unrewarding, and lead you deeper into that dark pit and that hole? Now, to some extent, that can be useful. Why? Well, because if you go deep enough into the pit, you'll get tired of who you're being, which will initiate a transformation if you go deep enough. But that's not a sustainable strategy and not something that you should rely on and hope will work for you. What is guaranteed is if you go, what parts of myself am I not happy with right now? What area of my life am I not satisfied in? Significantly dissatisfied in is even better. For example, if you're not making the kind of money that you want to make, then make a decision. I'm not happy with this. This isn't good enough. I don't like who I'm being in this area of my life. I want to step it up. I want to do something about it, right? Now you're lighting that fire, and then you need more amplify that desire, right? Go, okay, what would be amazing? What would make me light up? What would be really fun for me? And then sacrifice the things you are doing that are holding you back from that. Maybe you have to cut back on your expenses and your lifestyle so that you can invest more. I know I did. I remember, I think I was around 22 and I was making multiple 6 figures already, right? And then I had enough money to buy my dream car, which was a Porsche 911 at the time. And I hit that point and I saved enough money, and now I can buy the Porsche. I think I could actually buy it all cash, right? No down payment, nothing, just own it right away. And I was gonna feel like a real big boy, right? And instead what I did is I said, no, I'm gonna put this all into investing. Even though I had dreamt of having that Porsche. So along the way, this comes back into play. And you have to realize, wait, do I want to be the guy or girl that drives the Porsche? Do I want to be the person who has a wealthy investment portfolio? Do I want to be both? When do I want to be which one? And for me, I gave up the whole idea of the portion. As you know, I don't flex on YouTube or try to show off material possessions. And for 6 years, I've been making videos and it's always been pure content to educate and to help. And there's a reason for that. I believe in that. Those are my values. You know, that's the approach I took. Maybe one day I'll change my mind and, you know, I'll buy a Lamborghini and go drive around and show everybody how cool I am, but I doubt it. You have to decide, who do you want to be? I decided I want long-term wealth. I want to make an impact in the world. I want to reach more clients, right? So I started doubling down on my business. I started getting better mentors. I joined more communities, more masterminds. I'm in so many masterminds. They're amazing. You know, it's helped me grow. I run a program like that because I know it's effective and my clients are happy and get results too, which is pretty cool, right? So you have to think about, who do you want to be? What would make you happy? And then use that, leverage that to decide what the sacrifices will be. And you're gonna make some sacrifices either way, like I mentioned. Either you sacrifice your dream because you don't do what you need to do, or you sacrifice other things. You know, one sacrifice that I made is I blocked all my social apps so I couldn't check them constantly. So there's only a window of time where I can access it. Otherwise, I'd be sitting there right now probably. And so would probably most people, because it's addictive. So if you don't eliminate those things, or at least put a limit on them, then how can you expect yourself to just muster up some crazy discipline every day and lots of willpower? It's unethical to put yourself in that situation. Don't do that. That's what mentally weak people do. They expose themselves constantly to an environment where it's likely that they're going to fail. So you're setting yourself up for it and then blaming yourself, criticizing yourself for making the wrong decision, even though you set yourself up for it by having that wrong environment, and then you start feeling even worse about yourself. What? Why? That doesn't help you. That lowers your self-esteem, which then sends you into more of those spirals, and then we continue. Let's stop the dance. Let's get real here. You gotta sacrifice. You gotta give some things up. Even if not completely, you may need to limit. Be honest with yourself, okay? Now, which price are you going to pay? One of my favorite teachers of all time, Jim Rohn, talks about this. You will either pay the price of discipline, or you will pay the price of regret. Now listen, this really stuck with me. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. Regret is heavy. It makes you feel real bad. It makes you miserable. And not in a way that lights the fire typically, in a way where you start giving up, you get lethargic, apathetic, life doesn't mean as much anymore. You don't want to sit with a ton of regret. And the way you make sure you don't is you pay the price of discipline today. Now, not in a way where you're setting up your environment so that you fail and then you use discipline to try to defeat that. Again, let's be practical here. Let's be smart. Let's use our minds. We have so much power up here that we don't utilize. Discipline in the right areas where it matters. Discipline in our relationships to take care of the people around us, to invest into them, to not blame them, to not put it on them, but to cultivate and to develop and to get better in our business relationships, in our personal relationships. With our health, the discipline, the price that I pay every day to work out every day. I do cardio every day because I want my heart to be real good and healthy, right? And I want to not run out of breath when I'm doing things. I want to have energy. Now, maybe you want big muscles. That's cool too. Go for it, right? Whatever it is for you that you want, Pay the price of discipline for it. It's a small price to pay. When you compare it to regret, I was obese. Obese. Like actually classified as obese. And I lost all that weight, but I just regretted that I didn't do it sooner. It was life-changing. You know, I wish I started my YouTube channel. I did 1 year of daily videos. I wish I would have started that when I was 8. So pay the price now. It's worth it. Because in the long run, the price goes up and it turns into regret. So whatever you want, whatever is important to you, just commit to it and follow a plan, schedule it out, and make sure it happens. There is no magic secret or little, trick that will make this happen for you. Only you can make this happen for you. And I want you to make it happen for you. I genuinely want you to live up to your potential, be your best self, be happy, be fulfilled. But you can't do that if you're not willing to pay the price and if you're not willing to sacrifice. This is key. This is the difference between the mentally strong and the mentally weak. And you have to make a decision. Which one are you? Which one will you be today and tomorrow? And each day you get to decide how you show up. Each day you have a choice. Which version of you will you show up as? Which version of you do you want to be? Decide, okay? Decide. And decision means to cut off, right? So you cut out any other option. This is really crucial. You have to make sure that when you're committing, you're following through and keeping your word to yourself. Otherwise, it will mean nothing and then you won't trust yourself. So start small if you need to, but pay the price. Pay the smallest price that you can afford if you have to, but pay the price of discipline. Now, who do you blame? Don't forget this. We always blame somebody. It's just our human tendency. You might say, oh, I'd never do that. I promise you, if you look closely, you'll find that you're usually blaming someone. Maybe you're blaming your potential customers. Maybe you're blaming your family. Maybe you're blaming society as a whole, or maybe it's the government's fault. But it's usually someone's fault, and the person usually ain't you. Because the moment that you realize that you don't have what you want is always a result of you and the way you show up and what you do and the decisions that you make, life changes. You can take responsibility, you can do something about it. You're no longer a victim, you're no longer this person who's just having all this stuff happen to them. You now control your input, which directly influences the output and the result that you get. So make a decision to only ever blame yourself. But not with pity and not with, getting down on yourself and saying, oh yeah, you're such a bad person. Why are you so shit, right? Not like that. But rather, what can I do to improve? If you want something, all you have to ask is, what do I have to do to deserve it? That's it. Whatever you want, what do you have to do to deserve it? There's always something you can do to deserve it. You just have to figure it out. And if you didn't get it, then you change your actions until you deserve it. And you do that again and again, and you reiterate. And one of the easiest things to do is to look at people who are deserving it and getting it right now and model them and learn from them. It's not a magic trick, but it's as close as you'll probably ever get. Now look, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Again, to enter to win the free copy of the book, drop a comment saying winning below. And also, I wanted to let you know that if you want to join an incredible high-level community, a mastermind filled with like-minded people who are growing, improving themselves, entrepreneurs, successful people from all over the world, and you want to have me mentor and coach you personally, you can jump on a free consultation with me. All you got to do is go to erafael.com to sign up for that. Don't miss out on it. I want to talk to you. Now, this is only for people who are serious. Don't sign up for it if you don't actually want to improve and grow. If you just want to talk and complain, I'm not the guy. I'm not going to help you with that. But if you're serious, you're ready to invest in yourself, get better, grow, improve, and be around other amazing people, then awesome. Sign up, erafael.com for that. Again, don't forget what we talked about today. Make sure that you understand that the misery of being will typically light the fire with desire. Then you will need to decide what you're going to sacrifice. And once you have decided, then you will pay the price either of discipline or regret. Regret weighs tons, discipline weighs ounces. So choose wisely. Finally, who do you blame? This is crucial. Do not blame outside circumstances. Do not blame what's happening out there. Look at you. What's wrong with you? How can you improve? How can you deserve what it is that you want? That's how you get there. That's the secret. And that's the difference between people who are mentally weak, who are mentally fragile, and people who are mentally strong and make massive progress in their lives.